Good evening class, good evening everyone. In this video, I'm going to discuss to you understanding the Hypertext Markup Language or HTML. So, before I am going to discuss or before proceeding on the lesson proper, let us have first a review on Module 3. Okay, so these are the steps in planning a website. So for module 3. Okay, the first step is to set purpose and goals. So in planning a website, you have to set purpose and goals. So meaning you have to identify the website's purpose as well as the target audience. Okay, set measurable specific goals for the website. So, do you want to sell a product or educate audience and entertain them, or all of the above? Creating a list of the objectives to be accomplished will help in the total design of the website. Okay, so number 2 step is create a budget. So this includes the funds for web design, programming, and web hosting. So for web hosting, it needs funds to maintain. It involves money because you are going to pay monthly for web hosting. Number 3 step in planning a website is to assign rules. So make sure everyone on the team knows the rule and what is expected from them. So they should always be updated of the deadlines and new developments and rules include. So in planning a website, it should be, you have to know your rules, because it consists of programmers, graphic artists. Okay, for step number 4, create content strategy. So after identifying the goals and target audience, so pag makabalo na kasi na mo target audience to view your website, the kind of materials the site will contain is now clear. Content is anything that gives the visitors information. So unsay suyod sa imo website, content of your website, your strategy, so that you can attract or get attention of the viewers of your site. So number 5 is create sitemap and wireframe. Okay, so the sitemap serves as the foundation of a website. So it helps give web designers a clear view of the website's information structure and explains the relationship among the web pages and content elements. Okay, number 6 step is design. So a good design is very important. It includes both usability and aesthetics. Aesthetics meaning the design kung unsa ka gana, beauty, aesthetics. A poor design and hard to navigate website will drive away visitors. So you should have a good design of your website. Number 7 step is test. So after writing the code of your website or program for your website, it should be tested. So testing is important in debugging. Debugging means finding faults in the website. So if there are instances na dyan mga error, the website should be tested. So the last step is to maintain the website. So after designing, after testing, there should be a maintenance. Okay, work doesn't end in launching the website. A website is an entity that continuously promotes and represents a person or company. That's why maintenance is very important. Okay, now let us discuss the brief introduction of Understanding Hypertext Markup Language, or HTML. Okay, imagine building a house. One of the first things that should be done is to create a frame. It would be a plain shape or a house, and people can't live in it yet. However, it would give an approximation of how the house would look like. So the frame would serve as the foundation. Similarly, HTML serves as the frame for a web page. Okay, it is a computer language known as markup language, and majority of web pages found in the internet every day are made of HTML. So meaning, browsing the internet, all the pages you see, the texts are made up of HTML, or Hypertext Markup Language. Okay, HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It is a markup language for creating web pages by describing its structure. It consists of elements which tells the browser how to display the contents and label pieces of contents in the web page. So, what are HTML elements? Similar to the frame of a house, it is made up of individual pieces of wood. An HTML document is composed of individual HTML elements. And an HTML element is defined by a start tag and some content and an end tag. Okay, this is an example of an HTML element illustration. So an HTML element consists of a start tag or opening tag, this one. Okay, this is called the start tag or opening tag. This less than sign, P, and greater than sign. And it also contains a closing tag. So meaning an HTML element has opening tag and a closing tag. So the only difference in the closing tag, it has a slash symbol. So the text between the opening and the closing tag is called the content. This will actually, when you run this code, this is an element will actually display on the browser when you run the program. Okay, H1, another example, H1 or less than sign, opening tag for H1, heading 1, and closing tag with slash 1. My first heading. So when you run the program, this will display on the browser, my first heading. So this is an element, opening tag and closing tag H1. So this is another is paragraph tag or the P tag, less than symbol or less than sign, P, greater than sign, my first paragraph. Then closing tag is less than slash paragraph or P, then closing tag. So that is a closing tag. So this will display the text between will display on the browser when you run the program. Okay, here we have the start tag, okay, and the end tag. These are the end tag. So take note that not all elements, HTML elements, have contents. Like the break tag, this is a break tag, less than sign BR element. These elements are called empty elements. This one, this BR or break tag. These empty elements does not have an end tag. You see, there is no end tag for the break tag. So meaning why slash dere. Yeah, and there is no content of the element. So because the function of this break tag is just to make space, same as when you press enter on the keyboard, just make space or break tag. Okay, here is the HTML structure or basic structure of an HTML document. Below is the sample illustration of HTML structure. Only the content inside the body section, which is in the white area, will display in the browser. So it is clear, meaning only this text inside the element or will display on the browser window. The content on the opening tag for the body and closing tag for the body, meaning these are only the text that will display on the browser. Okay, I have already added an output here, so meaning when you run this basic HTML document, this is the output. Heading 1, big letters for heading 1, paragraph tag, opening, closing tag. Here is the output when you run on a browser. This is the browser window, the Chrome. Okay, so a basic HTML structure, actually you take note class, this start with an HTML element, opening tag or opening tag for HTML, and see there is a closing tag for HTML. Pares ini sila, pares, pair. See, next is the head, the basic structure of an HTML, the head, the opening tag for the head, and there is the closing tag for the head. Inside the head tag, inside or between the head tag, you can find the title tag. So title, opening tag for the title, and closing tag for the title. Meaning when you run the program, you can see here the page title. So whatever text is here will be displayed on the tab of the browser. So if you change this text to SNNHS or your name will display here. So that's the function of the title tag. HTML text editor. So we have here some examples of HTML text editors. An HTML editor is an application used to create web pages. Okay, so since HTML documents use plain text, any text editing program can be used to create web pages. So there are simple text and professional HTML editors. So we have here examples of text editing programs. So here is the text editor or Microsoft Windows Notepad, meaning you can write HTML codes here. So next is Notepad++. This is actually what we are going to use, the Notepad++, meaning we are going to write text here. Another example is Apple Macintosh text edit. So this is for Apple operating system use. Another is HTML editors. So it's Adobe Dreamweaver and Microsoft expressions. Okay, HTML doctype declaration. So, a doctype of document type declaration is the first line of code required in every HTML or XHTML document. So, I have already explained the previous slide the basic structure of an HTML document, which is start with the opening tag for HTML, then it has pair with closing tag for HTML, then the head tag. Inside the head tag is the title tag, then next is the head is the opening tag for the body and closing tag for the body. So meaning this doc type is the first line, so meaning pwede dito siya before sa HTML on the first line, and this doc type is not an element or tag. It is an instruction to the web browser about what version of HTML the page is written. So i-explain ra on what version of HTML using this doc type. So meaning it's just telling the browser that you are writing an HTML document. So this is the function of this line. So this doctype declaration is not case sensitive. So meaning pwede ka small letters ang imo i-type instead of capital letters, because it is explained here it's not case sensitive. Pwede small letter, pwede capital mo i-type. In HTML4, the declaration use is this code. What is meta? Okay, the meta tag provide metadata about an HTML document. Metadata is data information about data. Okay, so meaning these are raw facts, data, and information about an information. It is always placed in the head part, and it is used to specify page description, character set, keywords, author of the document, date, last modified, and viewport settings. It is also used by browser to display content or reload page, search engines to search keywords, and other web services. So we have here an example of meta in HTML4. So this is an example code for meta. So it's HTTP Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Meta in HTML5. This is the syntax for meta in HTML5. We will discuss this one later on the next proceeding lessons. Okay, these are attributes for meta. Okay, character set, HTTP equivalent or content security policy, and content type, default style, and refresh. Okay, this specifies the type of information. Content text specifies the value associated with HTTP equivalent or name attribute. So an example, HTML using Notepad. Okay, to open Notepad in Windows 7 or earlier, so these are the steps on how to open the Notepad in Windows 7 and Windows 8. Notepad window. has the following parts. So these are the parts of the Notepad window. I will show you how to open the Notepad++ in your computer. Okay, so these are the parts. At the top portion is called the title bar. The title bar actually contains the name of an application. See, the Notepad++. The control buttons contains the minimize, maximize, and close button. Menu bar contains the file, edit, search, view, encoding, and so on. Okay, this white area here is the text area, or the area where you write your code, your HTML code in Notepad. And here is the scroll bar or vertical scroll bar. You can scroll up and down by editing your HTML code. So okay, I'm going to illustrate to you how to open Notepad++. Okay, so escape. So this is how to open. So if you have installed your Notepad++, and you add a shortcut button on your desktop, so you just simply double click this Notepad++. This one, I have already installed Notepad++ on my computer, and I have added shortcut on the desktop. So just simply double click it to open Notepad++. So this is where you write your code. So later on we will discuss how to do or how to write basic codes, HTML codes in using Notepad++. So because in starting creating an HTML document, you set the language. We'll just discuss this one in-depth discussions on how to write HTML. Here, set the language to HTML. So there are actually many settings I'm going to discuss later on. So that's how to open Notepad++. Let us continue our discussion. And here, okay, viewing HTML code in a browser. So how to view HTML code in a browser window. Browser meaning your Google Chrome, your Firefox, so any internet browser, you can view HTML codes. So for instance, this is how to view HTML code in a browser. So you can simply escape this first. For instance, you are going to open a website. I'm going to try to open for instance DepEd Education Caraga LMS. So if you want to view the source code for this website or any website, you just simply right click at the empty portion, anywhere at the empty portion of the active website. Right click and then you can see view page source. So you can actually view the HTML code. These are the HTML code, pero this includes JavaScript and CSS or cascading sheet style code. Okay, this is how to view page source. Here, that's how to view HTML code in a browser. Okay, so here in your module, you are asked to identify the parts of the Notepad++ window. So these are the answers, and I have already discussed this one. Okay, checking your understanding. These are the answers. Number 6 to 10. Okay, that's all for our discussion on understanding hypertext markup language. Thanks for watching.